Hey guys, this is Sonic2sDay here coming at you with a new video. We're going, well obviously it's Tuesday. That means if you haven't been living under a pine tree in Green Hill Zone, Sonic Tuesdays is where I literally talk about anything that deals with Sonic lore, theories, predictions of what they could do for the future, you know, basic stuff like that. You know, what you see on many other channels like this. Although I also incorporate voice acting. So I'm a jack of all trades, as they say. But if you're new here, make sure to comment, like, and subscribe, and definitely make sure to hit that bell button. So, naturally, just in case, like I said during the beginning, if just in case anyone has been entry, Sony had their first, basically their own version of it last week. And 24 then, we got leaked out the fact that there was going to be a Sonic Generations port. Now, naturally, as a big Sonic Generations fan, and it has a place in my heart, and it also was the first game that I ever Let's Played as myself, and that was also when I brought in my voice for Shadow, which was episode 4, I think, or episode 3. I'm sure that there's a Chibi Mizuki telling me which one it is. But then the big takeaway from this leak was that something dealt with Shadow the Hedgehog. Now, naturally, Shadow the Hedgehog is a character that everyone wants to be playable again. Everyone wants the Sonic games to go back to having multiple playable characters. As do I, although probably compared to some other fans, I'm not as vocal about it because naturally, at the end of the day, I'm buying, these games for that blue hedgehog on. Everything else is a bonus. That's why I don't go up and if a new game isn't going to have a Chow Garden. So, naturally, there was also rumors about there being a PlayStation showcase. So, of course, we all waited for it to be announced, and it was announced, and then the day of, when we watched it, that leak turned out to be true. The remastering job looks pretty damn good. Mind my French. And now people have noticed some problems, but keep in mind it's coming out in autumn this year. They have plenty of time to iron out any of the bugs and patch them out and all that. So, but the big takeaway from this was at the end of the Sonic Generations part of it, to where all of a sudden Shadow just randomly shows up and shoves Classic Sonic to the side, are doing the Sonic Adventure 2 pose. And then he lands, and then he's then doing the Shadow the Hedgehog box art pose. So that little attention to detail is amazing. And then they show clips of him going through. Actually, I think his level in SA2 is literally called Final Chase, if I remember correctly. Let me do a quick search real quick. Yeah, Final Chase. I actually had that right. Holy crap. And what makes this even more interesting than all of a sudden Black Doom appears, confirming he's back in the game. Now, just in case people don't know about Black Doom, he's actually Shadow's father. That's basically who he is, along with Gerald Robotnik. They both created him. Gerald created the body of Shadow, and Black Doom provided the blood, the DNA. So essentially, Shadow the Hedgehog is basically half hedgehog, half Black Arms alien. And he's in his one form to where basically he's able to, like, follow Shadow without physically being there, which kind of leads me to believe there will be a boss fight with Shadow versus Black Doom, and then probably Devil Doom, I would imagine, or some new transformation that he has. And then also BioLizard is confirmed. Well, there's even a portion of it to where Shadow's, by the way it's looking like, it's actually the first stage from Shadow the Hedgehog, Westopolis. So that means we will most likely get a remix of that stage theme, probably from June. Which that's going to sound amazing. But the big thing that, probably two of the most big things that they showed in this trailer, and also they announced after the fact, was that Shadow has his chaos powers. There's a portion of the BioLizard fight where you see Shadow using Chaos Spear, and he's also, using chaos control to teleport. And on the blog, they even say, and there's probably something on the screen showing it, the fact that you're basically going to be going through his past and figuring out why, and he's going to be having all his, being that Chaos Blade is going to make a comeback, along with new power-ups. Now, that's awesome. I mean, it makes sense because, Sonic Movie 3 is coming out. So of course they would want to do something when it comes to Shadow, because, he's going to be one of the, main characters of Sonic Movie 3. And also, too, he had a bit of a big role in Sonic Prime. Makes sense. And now this kind of begs the question. They mentioned on the blog you're going to be going through past encounters, past moments of Shadow. Is Mephiles the Dark going to be coming back? There's a lot of people that have been wanting him to come back. Okay, I want to apologize about that. There was probably a edit there because my rechargeable batteries and my Xbox died on me. So anyways, I'm back now. That's another reason why I definitely, or try to give myself access to my computer so that I don't have to keep going through this. But anyways, again, what I'm saying, and there's a lot of Sonic fans that wants Mephiles the Dark to come back because, to me and many others, he is the best villain Sonic has ever had. Eggman came close in Forces, but Mephiles took him out for quite a bit. Until, of course, they gather all 7 Chaos Emeralds, and then probably a very controversial scene in fandom, takes place. Sonic's he transfers his energy to Shadow Silver, he fly up and take out, quite literally a god. Because he did play a big role in Shadow's life. He had a grudge against Shadow. that grudge being that Shadow was the one that put him in that artifact. And Mephiles knows eventually the humans are going to end up betraying Shadow. And then we had one of my most up. Even if the world chooses to become my enemy, I will. And then we see him the first time and take off his rings on his wrists. Which first happened in Sonic X. Which, by the way, I do actually have a short about that if you all want to check it out. So I'm super excited what all they're going to do with that awesome cutscene of Maria. Obviously, Shadow's. No. Yeah. Yeah, the worst day Shadow's life, more or less. And that means that Maria will probably have a new voice actress, unless the one that they use for kids dub, or even bring back the one from the Adventure series. Now obviously it will be Kirk Thornton that would probably be voicing Shadow. It would be cool if they were to get Jason Griffith or maybe get David Humphrey. I think the guy that voiced amazing job as Shadow. Because honestly, I've never Shadow. That's probably the only role that he has that I'm iffy on. I love everything else he does. I love his guest Kisame Hoshigaki from Naruto. I love his role as Sayax from Kingdom Hearts. And I love his role as Igor in Persona 3 Reload because I'm currently playing through that right now. But I just never been a big fan of his Shadow voice. It just lacks something to me. And that's something against him. Obviously, it's his job. And, I still love everything else he does. Now, there is a little bit of controversy because one of the main people that worked on Sonic Forces is working on this game. So now people are worried, is the level design is going to be as bad as Sonic Forces? Well, Mario Kishimoto also worked on Sonic Forces, and he redeemed himself. And plus, the guy that's working on the Shadow DLC for Generations, although they're calling it a collection, so it's probably a buy one. It's a package that consists of 2 different experiences. He also worked on Unleashed. He also worked on a lot of the levels, so he's capable of good level design. I just wish that the Sonic fandom would stop being so pessimistic at times. In my opinion, the Sonic franchise. So, but that's the thing about fandoms. A lot of complaining. There's one else I was wanting to discuss. Can't think of anything right now. Oh yeah. Now that begs the question: how long is this Shadow generation going to be? Is it going to be as long as Episode Shadow? Is it going 1 hour, 2 hours, an hour and 30 minutes? Because the fact matter is that Sonic Generation short game. That's actually one of the few complaints people have with it, is that it is super short. Even when you do everything in the game, like getting on the S ranks, getting on the red rank, putting all the basically mini games or missions, the mission gates and all that. it's still not a long game. And so I'm hoping it's as long as Sonic Generations. And this also begs the question too, right? Because of this probably taking place at the same time as Sonic Generations, does this kind of confirm that everyone else is going through their own thing, or does something happen because of the time meter screwing up the space-time continuum that this allowed Black Doom to know about his future, and that's why he's basically getting revenge on Shadow? I guess we'll find out once the game launches, and will this mean Sean Schemmel will be voicing Black Doom again? Now, I'm going to be honest. I'm not a huge fan of him when it comes to how he is as a person. I will be honest about that. Because of one situation and then one other situation that dealt with line that tried to meet him. So I'm not too big on Sean anymore. If they do get him back, that'll be cool. If he is confirmed to be back, there's a good chance I may be playing the game with the Japanese voices. So I know it's kind of petty, but anyways, I better segue so I don't go on a full-on rant about something that happened in 2019. But I am excited about this, and that means one of my predictions was correct. There's a new port coming out, and plus, we all know how Sega works, is that anytime they port something in recent years, there's always a reason for it. Sonic Colors Ultimate, when that came out, that hinted at the fact that you can equip things on Sonic, like different shoes, different gloves, and all that. Sonic Frontiers has that. Sonic Origins. Sonic Origins Plus. A collection of first 4 games. We also have Mania on the Switch. Amy became playable in Sonic when it comes to Sonic Origins Plus. And one of the games added to Sonic Origins Plus was Sonic Triple Trouble. What character debuts in that? Knack the Weasel, aka Fane the Sniper. And no, just in case people are wondering, no, I don't get my name from him. It actually comes from the English translation of Kiba's name from Naruto. And that led into Sonic Superstars. So I'm curious if this is going to be hinting at Shadow may have an in Sonic games moving forward. Maybe being playable again. We'll see. This could also be just a big old nothing burger either, but even Sonic Mania, that led into Sonic Forces. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. I'm sure right now Mario the next big Sonic game. I'm pretty sure. And if that means we'll be getting a new Sonic game every year, I'm here for it. So I can't wait to discuss what they could do for the end of the year. And who knows, they might surprise. They might announce another, maybe a spinoff. You know, maybe a collection. Even though that they're calling Sonic Generations a collection, like maybe like a Sonic event. And anyways, I'm getting sidetracked again. I can talk about this stuff all day, but if you all have enjoyed this video, definitely make sure to do everything I said in the beginning of the video. When the game does come out, I will be streaming it live. And yeah, I hope you all have a very good week. I'll see you all on Thursday. And then Friday, I'm also going to be bringing back Broly. So I hope you all are looking forward to the new direction I'm taking the channel in. I'm also hoping to do some big projects this year. So yeah, have a good rest of your week, guys.